Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Doug and Josh here on This Week with Doug and Josh.
Hello,
Hi,
hello.
Josh.
Hello, Douglas
How's
Montgomery.
another week? We've been pretty consistent on this run, haven't we?
Not bad. And on this beloved Thanksgiving week, we will not miss a beat.
That's right. We thought about it. We thought, okay, it's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Let's do it. Turkeys.
We've got a lot going on. Do we want to go home early?
No.
Or do we want to record
We are
our
here.
consistent show that we have been doing for our friends in the youth ministry world?
That's you.
That is you.
And
We have
we're
a lot
here.
of friends. And last week, okay, here's what's crazy.
Tell me.
DYM 100 ended a week ago.
Yes.
And can I tell
that
you?
That is correct.
Can I tell you that it feels like it's been 3 weeks?
Well, you look like you haven't gotten a lot of sleep. I know if you're watching in 4K, if you're listening, you've been blessed. If you're watching, you see that Doug is still tired and maybe still a little sick. Pushing through sickness that's not easy to do.
I had to, because after
Thank you.
DYM 100, DYM 100 ended on Wednesday
afternoon.
You and I were shooting videos on Friday.
Yeah, I had to go to youth group that night. So for the record,
That's right, but
yeah,
you didn't work this weekend.
I didn't.
And I spoke Saturday night.
Sorry, you.
Yeah, tried out the new Sidekick. Thank you very much.
So good. Save it for the
And
show.
then I preached on Sunday.
And twice on a Sunday morning.
Yep, and then I been hacking up a lung.
Did you go into a coma after that?
You know what's funny? So
I'll be the judge of
okay, yeah, thank you. So I tell the people that when I'm speaking, I've been this fourth time to speak at this church this year, so they
nice.
know me. Like one guy said, hey Doug, welcome home, and I'm like, oh, that's funny.
That's great.
So I said,
So you're
hey,
like a regular guest.
and my throat is not doing very good, and I said.
You sound like an airplane pilot. Like,
Well, I've been sick for a couple weeks. I mean, and my daughter had bronchitis, so I'm like, maybe I've got bronchitis. Yeah. But I said, I apologize ahead of time for my voice right now. I've been a little sick. I'm not going to be in the lobby shaking hands and kissing babies. So I got, boom, that out of the way.
Yeah, free
and
pass
I did
there.
have used my great line that I said.
What was it?
I said, and I'm on NyQuil. Which I don't know what they put in it, but I know it's food coloring, maybe with a little bit of Jack Daniels. And
Could the church handle that joke?
They could
Is that
handle
okay?
that joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because some would frown.
No, so anyway, on the second service, they do a 9:30 and 11.
Yeah.
On the second service, I was done speaking at 11:55.
Good. Everyone loves that.
I took my headset off. I set it down. I walked out the back door, got in my car because the church parking's in the front.
Yeah.
I parked in the back. I was out before the closing song was on because nobody was
amazing.
expecting me to
I would
kind of do the meet
I
and greet
actually
thing.
would not like a
I
greeting
know.
from you.
I know.
Don't make me sick.
I felt like it was a gift to that congregation. So anyway,
Leaving early out the back door was a gift. to
but
the
my
congregation.
style, and it's not a good style, and don't write
Okay.
and don't send me to therapy. I
Please-
know
please write in.
I'm hearing it from Kathy, is that I try to, when I'm sick, I try to power through and I try to pretend I'm like I did CrossFit.
Yep.
But after I do CrossFit, I'm just hacking up a lung. So, but I'm totally on the tail
The
end.
people at Del Taco today genuinely were concerned for your well-being. They were like, here's your burrito. And is that guy okay? Is he going to pass today?
Well, here's the deal, Josh.
you know what?
Thank you to our
welcome.
friends who listen to This Week at Doug and Josh.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We enjoy doing this where we talk about our lives, we talk about church life, we talk about things going on in DYM.
and this week's a doozy
Well, this week I combine church life and DYM.
by being sick in all of them.
Well, yeah, but on Saturday night we have a marriage thing that I do about once a month, and
We've talked about it here on the show. We do stacked events in our
right,
junior
you
high
do
ministry.
junior high, and
So
high school has an event,
we had a-
children's ministry. I mean,
Yep.
everybody works together, and
Go time.
it works. I mean, we've had 1,400.
It's amazing.
People come to this thing. So I mean, we're at a big church, but
it's 600
people
couples.
don't go to that kind of marriage thing on a Saturday night unless there's some synergy behind it. And so we get that every month. And then I tried out, drum roll please.
Dun, 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 dun.
I tried out Sidekick. The
awesome.
new Sidekick. We have rebuilt Sidekick from ground up.
From the ground up.
And we let the cat out of the bag last week that it includes voting.
Oh, you can use your phones to vote in an online poll that results appear in real time on the screen. It's amazing.
And it was so fun. So I told
So
the
good.
people there, get your phone out, and I had a poll up there, and
It's in beta. We're
it's in
testing
beta.
it. Part
It's
of
in
this-
beta, and I
this
was the
part of the stress test.
second person to use
Yeah.
it. We tried a DYM 100, and it worked fine.
It was beautiful.
But we hadn't tested it with 1,400 people pinging the servers, and so we We got about 400 votes in, and then
Amazing.
it crashed.
And so we've now rebuilt it from the ground up.
No, what's funny is that our developers who were there that night
the room.
it's like they were so happy it failed because it taught them like 11 lessons.
Yeah, and they're like, we'll have it fixed by Monday.
And-
And they did. It's amazing.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Now they were throwing some numbers at Josh and I today
So
about how
fun.
like it used to take, 0.3 milliseconds, and it can handle things up to 12,000
kilobytes and
Yeah.
gigawatts.
And
yeah.
I just nod and
Yeah.
smile.
He said, will it work next year? Yeah,
But
it works now.
to my defense, here's what I did.
Yeah.
I had the presentation on the new Sidekick. It's
Uh-huh.
great. It's user friendly. I mean, the joke is if Doug can do it, anybody can do it.
It's
I
not
had
a
it
joke.
open on my phone. I had it open on my iPad. I had it open on my computer.
no
which
wonder
is-
it crashed.
No, it's web based. It wasn't going to crash. And then I had it on my computer, like as my confidence monitor.
yeah.
And then I had the guys in the back who were running sound. I had
awesome.
them open. So there was 4. And then Nick, who's created the whole thing, he was sitting at the front table and he had it open on his phone.
Amazing.
To help with some of the video stuff that I didn't necessarily feel comfortable with yet.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I backed it up in Keynote, which I used to present in. And then I exported all my slides from Keynote and gave it to the Pro Presenter guy
Oh,
and
my
said, have it
goodness.
just in case. So
You had redundancy from the Department of Redundancy Department.
exactly. There's too much on the line, man.
No, I agree. That many people hungry, and you're
and they don't know anything about
Right.
DYM.
And
they
they
don't know
don't care.
anything that we're launching this new software.
Yeah. Well, the key is though, it was amazing. The results as a speaker to get that kind
Oh,
of feedback
gosh,
from
it
your
was so
audience
fun.
immediately in real time.
So fun.
It's unbelievable. We threw up some polls in our junior high ministry. Again, a much lighter stress test than
Yep.
yours, but it worked beautifully. And even though not every junior higher has a phone, which is okay, I think it's going to work really well in our high school ministry, et cetera.
Absolutely.
But it was so fun for a kid to pull out their phone, and instead of me swatting their phone away, I'm like, yeah, what do you think? What's your vote? One guy was bribing. It was like, who's your favorite JHM, volunteer or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like
That was
bribing
a silly poll.
with llama dollars.
It was a silly poll.
Funny.
Because
Well-
who came in last? Don't say. But
Hurtful.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. I was second to last or tied for third or whatever it was, but I wasn't there. I was off, and I didn't have llama bucks to bribe people. And then our sound guy, his name is Blarg. Blarg is in the back of the room, and he's got all of his tech kids with their phones ready to go. So he gamed the vote for himself. Kind of brilliant. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
So anyhow, phones are the future. And what if phones, instead of being the enemy, were part of the engagement and blessing of the discipleship process?
Yeah.
We're hoping to find out.
hey, and what I'm asking you for, this is Doug Fields, not anybody else, not Josh. It's not part of his job description. My job description, when this launches in December, I may be the first week of December. We're not exactly sure.
Yeah,
when
right in
we're-
that window,
We're
yeah.
turning the switch. We've still got a few more bugs to figure out.
Yeah.
Is I want to find people who are actually using it, and then I'm going to blog about them every Friday. We're creating a new Sidekick Hero blog.
You got it.
And just fun, creative ways to use Sidekick. If you're already a gold member, you're going to have access to it.
You're welcome.
You're not going to have much access. You're only going to have 5 phone connections on that. But
Yeah, it's like a starter kit. Or
yeah,
whatever.
but
See
we
if you
have
like it.
I mean, there's a lot of cost to the connections and things like that. And so we have a very, very reasonable Gold Plus that we are announcing in December. And that will give up to 50 phone connections. And
That'll
you can
be
use as
so
many times as you want, the whole bit.
Exactly. Well, the key is though, it's going to change the way you present. So instead
Already,
of just putting stuff
I
on
wish
the
I was
screen-
presenting every week right
Yeah,
now.
and the plans for this using AI and all the new builders, it'll still have boxes and wheels and all that stuff, but new ones like a Q&A where the kids can type in a question and a moderator in the back can take that question and put it on the screen
Yeah.
in one click. Like that kind of stuff is going to change how you communicate, how you get feedback, how you present.
Here's what I'm
Everything.
40 years in youth ministry, and I have been relying ever since we moved to like the computer,
Yeah.
okay, which wasn't even there in the first part of my ministry
You had
career.
2 decades before the computer.
Yeah,
arrived.
but having other people control my slides and my timing, how much frustration that has been, and now I will be able to do it off my phone.
Or a clicker. You
I
used a
am
clicker.
so
even.
excited about that. Yeah.
Well, I think my favorite part is that when you make the presentation at home during Monday Night Football or Dancing with the Stars or whatever, it will sync with
Yep.
your youth room computer. So if you have a computer at the church, when you log in at church, it's there, it's done, it's ready to go. You literally just click present.
Yeah.
So instead of having to drive to the church or go to the church basement or bring a computer, whatever, it just syncs automatically through the power of the internet.
Yeah, and what you guys are hearing and gals are hearing is this. Josh and I are way too excited for something that hasn't. We were talking about it too much. We're talking about it too much. Like it's not even out yet.
Yeah, but it will be soon.
I mean, it is out for people who are co-leader subscribers because we've already made the one-click presentation available to them, and we're just going to make it better and better and better. And we want your ideas. We want you to vote. Like what comes next.
Yeah, if you were like, I wish a kid could use their phone to ... Tell us what the ...
Yeah,
is.
we're very excited. We're probably too excited about it, but we've been working on it for almost 2 years now.
Well, and it's your final project before this illness takes you.
That's right. Hey, Josh, while we have people, if they're still listening after that long sidekick thing.
Yes.
Again, we should probably make middle notes like don't talk about things that aren't available because then people get excited about it.
But if you're watching this on like December 5th, you're in. Go get it.
Maybe
probably
5th, 6th, 7th, something.
7th would be Pearl Harbor Day. Out of respect, you probably wouldn't do it. That wouldn't download it that day.
Yeah,
but just kidding.
You could, and you could turn it into a trivia question.
You could. Pearl Harbor trivia. Wow. That took a turn. Well, happy Pearl Harbor Day if it is December 7th.
we are on the verge of December. What are you doing for your volunteers?
So here's the little key principle. Get your volunteer Christmas dates in for your Christmas party.
Like in September.
As early as humanly possible because they're going to make their Christmas plans. And by the time your date rolls in, like around now, it's too late. They already have the office party, the church party, they have all their family stuff. It's too late. So we put our Christmas party on the calendar in September. Wow. And so on December 13th, we're going to have a great, simple Christmas party with our volunteers.
I want to say that's a Wednesday night.
It is a Wednesday night. So no life groups. Life groups ended on the 6th.
Oh.
And we will have a blast on the 13th together. So it's just a chance to celebrate our people, love on them, encourage them. But the key is get your date in as early as possible. If you're thinking about when should we do it, it's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Yeah,
That's
Trav,
okay.
this feels like a setup, but I really, honestly, 100% do not know.
Producer
Do
Travis.
I know that in December we give a lot of things away at DYM.
Yeah.
Do we have a volunteer party or anything like that? A free adult volunteer Christmas party?
Is it for adults or is it an adult Christmas party? Because it sounds right now.
Yeah, it sounded terrible.
It doesn't sound good. It's a Christmas party for adults for free.
Oh, it's on Co-Leader.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay.
That did sound like a setup, but it wasn't. Thanks.
No,
Producer
I
Travis.
really did not know. But I know that we typically give stuff away during Christmas.
Here's
time.
one more thing. Talking about calendars, remember there's a calendar on Download Youth Ministry
for your spring.
So you can grab that. It's super inexpensive, or if you're a brand new user, you can actually get it for free. And then put your next gathering on there way in advance so people get it on their calendar too.
Yeah, very, very fun. Josh, we have one letter that we're going to read.
Oh, we've been getting a lot of, this has been fun.
Well, here's the deal. Today at DYM staff meeting, on the sly, I texted Josh and I said, do we have an automatic response for this week at Download Youth Ministry?
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be able to read everyone. Like in the old days of us doing the podcast, remember that I had a thick notebook and I just felt the pressure, like we got to get to everybody's questions. I don't want that pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in my last legs.
The auto responses, we've read them all, but we're not going to who knows?
Yeah.
Hang in there. Love you. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, something like thanks for writing.
Yeah.
And if we didn't have real lives, a busy church and busy DYM and busy pickleball, and CrossFit,
priorities, people,
and Josh, midnight gaming,
video game parties.
If we didn't have that, we would love to answer every email. But
when some come in that strike your fancy, you may read them, like this one.
Yeah, like
there's
this
a
one.
transition
There
right
you go.
there. You're welcome.
This is from Todd Peerage, who was the guest speaker at your.
Oh yeah.
We told the fudge sickle story last episode.
And how to prepare a guest speaker. To be there.
Yep. So it's like he's getting the trifecta on this.
What does he say?
He said, here's a question. Feedback can be the most terrifying and the most rewarding part of speaking. What would you suggest to someone who does not have a staff who can provide that level of feedback?
That level? I did offer Todd some feedback. He did a fantastic job. He was warm. He was funny. We talked a little bit about it last week. It was great. But I offered him feedback multiple times through the weekend because we have 5 services, so there was plenty of opportunity. I heard the message 5 times. So I gave him some pretty detailed feedback on his message and trying to tweak it here and there and make it a little bit better. So one was, he said, a couple of years ago, I was at this camp and I blah, 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 blah. I said, Todd, nobody cares that it was a couple years ago. In fact, that actually hurts your story and your credibility. Just say a while back, or in the past, I was, or whatever.
Or I was at a
speaking in
camp.
Right. Like, just forget the qualifier. Like, the qualifier only hurts your story.
And people love their qualifier.
Exactly.
You know, I heard this story from a buddy of mine who is he's related to my cousin Skippy. And one time Skippy got this pocket knife.
Just tell the story.
Yeah,
just forget
get into
it.
the
Like,
story.
stab me with that pocket knife. So that was one of them. And then one, he had a really funny, like, angels. Like, the angels, when I opened this fudgesicle freezer, it was like the angels sound. And so then later in the story, the fudgesicle freezer is empty. And I said, why don't you say, I opened it and there were no angels. In fact, I said, my God, why have you forsaken me? And then I thought, oh, that might be too far. That might be too far.
Well, let's talk about one of the principles of feedback, because the question is, if you don't have a staff,
that's a great question.
We invite our volunteers into it. And, you know, one of the things that we say is, you know, I'll take your feedback. Now, again, this is at a time when you have multiple services. Some of you don't have most of you don't have multiple services, so you teach once. Then I think it's really good to get some feedback of if there was something that could be translated into another week. For example, you only look at the left side of the room. I sat on the right side. Like for me as a communicator, I'd be like, oh, I'd like to know that.
Help me with that.
Yeah,
sure.
give me the feedback. But there is a rule, and you as the communicator, you have to set up this rule. And the rule is, I will listen.
Yes.
But you cannot be offended if I don't use your feedback. Like you can give feedback, but you have to hold it with a loose grip.
Yeah, because if it's not your style or your tone, or if you just feel like that's not the message or that's not helpful, you have to, as the communicator, have to make that decision.
Yeah, as the communicator, you own that audience and that setting. So there are times, even in our preaching team, not youth ministry, but our preaching team, I'll give feedback on a Saturday night, a first service, and some people can't handle that feedback.
Well, to turn feedback into actionable words on stage.
Once you've already prepped.
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah. Now, there are a lot of times, you know, I'll get on Saturday and I'm like, let me think about that. I may make some changes before Sunday.
Yeah.
But again, that is that's multiple services,
I would
and
say,
not most people have that.
What is transferable to everybody is you can get feedback before you deliver. So I know this is specifically about
that's
speaking.
good. No, that's really good.
But everybody, if you're only speaking one time, you can still get feedback before you deliver the talk.
Yep.
So in your preparation, involve somebody. Grab a volunteer who happens to be a great speaker in their business profession, whatever.
Or they know the Bible, or they know kids. They don't even need to be a great speaker.
Or they're funny, like whatever. Find like someone who is deep theological who can punch that up a little bit, whatever. But I think you can become a better communicator in the prep, even if you don't have that person on the back end to help you out.
Yeah, I mean, one of the secrets that Josh and I, we rarely share this, but we pass our talks back and forth to each other all the time.
Well, before, and then we both listen during, and afterwards, just from DY100, you gave me some great notes. I gave you a couple thoughts on yours, but I was like, how did I miss that? And I put it right in.
Yeah.
It was easy. I was like, this is so great. Because I'm going to deliver the content again, that's helpful too.
Yeah.
I know there's an
But you can invite
for
people, if you prep ahead of time and you manuscript, or even if a detailed outline, you could send it to some people and say, you know, what am I missing? But, you know, be careful who you invite into that inner circle. It's a pretty tender place.
Oh, right off a stage, don't tell me feedback. Give me a beat.
Yeah.
To like pretend and think I did a good job, then give me the list.
Well, if there's another service, I want to hear.
I want
to hear right away.
I try to model this to our team because I have a couple of the people that I do share the stage with a fair amount in our youth ministry. So I walk off stage, kids go to discussion groups. I'm like, okay, hit me. Like I invite that, not because I'm a glutton for punishment or I want that, but I want them to have that attitude when they walk off stage because I'm going to give them feedback.
Well, you're so close in your message prep. You are so close to it that sometimes you need those outside eyes. I was thinking the other day, I was on a final read through of some of our co-leader stuff that is going to, it's a habit series that's going to be in
so good.
January.
Yeah.
And I was like, this thing has been touched by so many people.
And
we have a
better punched up, and it's incredible.
I thought, man, if all of my message got this type of detail, listening, looking, and adding stuff, I mean, let alone Travis's mind-blowing, incredible graphics that are part of co-leader. But anyway, it's good. So volunteers can give feedback, invite them in, but set it up. Say, hey, I'm going to invite you in, but you just can't be offended. You have to hold everything loosely.
Yep, I like
because
that.
At the end of the day, I have to communicate it, not you.
If I could find 3 people, this might be a little bit more in the ideal side. I would find the funniest person who would be willing to give me a little bit of time. I would find a spiritual or theological bent person, and then I'd find a teenager to make sure that it's like, is this term relevant? Am I trying to be someone I'm not here?
Yeah.
Those three would be
or
like
maybe what
grail.
about a parent of a teenager
That would
if
be
you don't
so
if you
good.
don't have teenagers
Yeah.
of your own.
Yeah.
But you got to pick the right parent of the teenager so not every message turns into, dating or virginity or cleaning your room.
What are you looking at on your phone?
Yeah.
Take out the trash, turn off your phone, and yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a very, very good idea. Parent of a teen, the right person to offer feedback is so important.
What are you doing tomorrow for Thanksgiving?
Thanks for asking. My daughter just flew home from Canada for the break, which is great, and it's been so fun already. And my boys come home today, which is great.
Great, from college.
We got a couple days all together as a family. We're having some stragglers over. I wouldn't say that publicly, but this is just you and me talking.
Yeah, I've seen your friends.
No, some people that don't have family out here in California, so we're inviting them over, and it'll be a blast.
That's
so
great.
yeah, I can't wait.
Is Ange cooking?
She is cooking. Oh, this is a great moment. She bought a humongous turkey and a huge ham. We do both. I don't know why, but it's delicious.
Yeah, you're equal opportunity.
She left it in the car overnight. You know how much a full-size turkey and she was ready to like die out of
So did you throw them in the freezer real quick? Can
That's
you
what I
do that?
said. So we're at a restaurant having dinner the next day when she remembers that they're in the trunk.
Gosh.
So I Google it and it says turkey is good for, it's like, don't worry about it. It's good for 2 hours out of the fridge. We're like, this is 18. And then a ham can be out for 8 hours.
So
Still both gone.
Did she throw them both away?
We threw them both away.
Why didn't you give them to one of the stragglers?
I thought about giving it to Travis, producer Travis, as a Christmas, Thanksgiving bonus.
Yeah.
Hey, we got you this turkey.
Then he's out for the whole month of December. Salmonella. Yeah,
threw 'em
my
away. It was
wife is like,
crushing.
Kathy is like, if it's even near the expiration date, she throws it out. I'm like, babe, come on. This pickles. They can go a month past.
Pray over it. You'll be fine. It's a
Yeah.
pickle. It's already kind of fermented or vinegar.
So
or something.
how much? Let's talk cash.
Oh,
Do you know what a turkey costs?
I know that it was in essence about $75
Between
worth
both of
food.
them?
Yeah. And she's thrifty. She's thoughtful. She gets good deals.
Yeah.
And she's the most responsible person in the Griffin house by a million
Oh
miles.
yeah, absolutely.
And Angela failed. And I told her as she's like ready to cry into her soup or whatever, I said, babe, this is good. Our kids need to see you make a mistake every once in a while.
Yeah.
And she felt this one.
Well, you've gone on record now. I mean, you just said Angela failed. And Travis, you saw what he did with my sneeze.
Yeah, that's true.
On YouTube.
Do not take this bait.
He's going to
right
take
now.
this. He's going to take that term.
there was
Angela
also-
failed and turn it into his ringtone.
There was also hamburger. There was a lot of food that we threw away. Yeah.
Okay, so you're underplaying the $75.
Oh yeah, it's way under. Yeah, and inflation right now. I mean, that's basically our life savings.
But here's the truth: you have no idea what a turkey costs.
99 cents a pound at Amazon Fresh. That's what YouTube video said earlier this week. I have no idea.
You're such a shopper.
What would that be?
Anyway,
like $50?
I have no idea.
Okay,
I'm-
see?
No, I'm the pot calling the kettle black.
Doug, what are your plans for Thanksgiving?
I was just going to end the show, Josh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I assume you're going to be on your deathbed.
No, I'm going to CrossFit tomorrow morning.
Great.
Because the kids and grandkids don't come over until 2.
Wait, so do they have a 5K, like a Thanksgiving Day 5K?
No, it's just a nasty workout.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
12 days of Thanksgiving?
Yes, that's exactly what
I've
it is.
done that one. That's ugly.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sick tomorrow. I wish I could.
Yeah, I know. When's the last time you've been to a CrossFit?
Been a while.
Yeah.
No, I drove by it the other day and went, na, na, na. Hey.
Goodbye.
Yeah, it's great.
So yeah, then the kids and grandkids come over at 2, and we will have a ball. They'll all spend the night.
Football. We watch football.
Yeah, I mean,
Lions, Packers. Come on.
Oh, it's Lions,
It's
Packers?
a big game.
Well, it's a big game for who?
Well, they're both terrible. Lions aren't bad.
Terrible. They're in first place.
Well,
aren't
Lions, my whole life have been a joke, and now
Yes,
they're
that's
awesome,
true.
So.
That's true.
But the Packers are now the joke.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's get off that subject.
they? Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Then we get back to
Good.
DYM next week.
Yeah, and I'll be back at church this weekend. We're doing from Download Youth Ministry. We're using the Thanksgiving prayer reflective stations or something like that.
Is it the one that's on Co-Leader or the one that's on the store?
That's on just on the DYM store,
yeah.
but they're both great. But we've done it every year for like 4 years. If it's so good,
That's
I
good.
cannot wait.
And
I'm
with
looking forward
junior
to it.
high, like a 3-year
Oh yeah.
tradition, and most of those students are going to only make 2, if
Yeah.
not just 1.
Yeah,
So
someone's going to be traveling or
that's
gone or
great.
whatever.
That's great.
And
Good job.
we didn't do all of the stations that are in the kit that it comes with, and so we did about half. So now we're mixing it up a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's so good. And it's a chance for me not to speak, for someone else to have a different type of service.
Yeah.
We do a few more games at the front, and then it's really creative, and it's all done for us. Thank you, DYM.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I read something this morning
Yeah.
on a review, because they come to my inbox.
that's right. On the Thanksgiving reflection,
Yeah,
you were
but
saying.
that was co-leader.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how different they are. I should know that.
I should know that. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But the one on DYM is the one we use, and it's terrific.
That's
My
great.
favorite one, you got to be careful with what kids will do. Trust me. But there's this little tray of sand, and they draw something in there, or they write a word, and then you take your hand and you wipe your hand over it it's like forgiveness and confession. It's a beautiful little interactive thing. And after the service, we went up, and I was with one of my buddies. I'm like, what is that? And I don't need to tell you what was drawn in the sand, but we quickly erased it.
A male anatomy.
Yeah, that is correct.
You
Junior
didn't-
hires.
You didn't need to tell me.
Junior hires.
Yep.
It was lovely. So I'm not sure they totally understood the prayer stations.
Well, that's all part of forgiveness.
Oh, exactly. Anyhow, happy
And if
Thanksgiving.
anybody should know, Josh.
That's so true. I would say this. Thank you for doing what you do as well. Thank you for
You're
loving
welcome.
and serving
or,
teenagers.
or you're talking.
Also, Doug, thank you for the life that you have lived. No, thanks for, it's been a great year together. This is fun. We had a great Christmas season ahead of us at church and at DYM and in
Yep.
our families.
Yep,
And
yep.
we wish you the same.
Yeah. Amen and amen. Wait for the cough.
And don't sneeze. Oh boy. That is not right.
No, it's almost done.
Did you take a COVID test?
Yeah.
Did you take a tuberculosis test? I couldn't even say it. I was already giggling. I don't even know if those are the same. Is tuberculosis, is that still around?
I think Kathy left some chicken out.
Oh.